just feel like there is no hope of you changing your life because you're just a slave to these things.
I noticed that there's this vicious cycle when you're doing your normal day-to-day life and you're doing a bit of escapism or coping, or when you do a lot of it, your brain, your subconscious realizes that you are essentially controlled by these dopaminergic urges. Fuck, dude. Like whenever a new Andrew Tate video pops up, like I have to click on it, get a text message.
I gotta open it immediately.
You start to feel a slave to dopamine impulses. As much as you try to mitigate them with dopamine detox and all these cool extensions on your browser, you just end up uninstalling them or, clicking away. And this is something that worries me a lot because it happens to me. And I mean, I've been trying to work on my trauma and my issues, but dude, still, I have a lot of trouble with the dopamine stimulation, to like a very, very big problem with it. It's to the point where my ability to focus gets reduced. Owen Cook talks about where he says that
we talk about time being super important, like time is money. I also believe that momentum is money and that focus is money. So when people say that, do you value your time? In my mind, I would say high value people value their time, but high value people also value their focus, and high value people value their momentum.
We never think about this, right? We never think about how your ability to stay focused or the momentum you have with a certain task. For example, I hadn't posted YouTube videos in maybe 5 days or so. This gap kind of breaks your momentum. When your subconscious realizes that, shit, you're unable to focus, you're unable to direct your attention to the task that you want, you'll start to feel very low self-esteem. You'll start to feel that you're unable to change whatever track you're onto with your life. Like you cannot change direction in your life. You're powerless. And this feeling just consumes you. Just feel like there is no hope of you changing your life because you're just a slave to these things. To change this on an external approach, be really aggressive with dopamine. And this sounds kind of like crazy, dude, but even thinking, because I watch a lot of like self-help videos, and even thinking of like your favorite self-help teacher, maybe it's like David Goggins, or maybe it's even Owen or Julien, and thinking that, what would they do if they were in my body, and always doing that. But the issue with that is again, momentum capital, right? Once you start slipping away that mindset, once you let yourself off the hook once or twice, then it's so easy to just go back to the derping, where you lose your focus, you lose your ability to discern between what's important and what's dopamine hits. The issue is, why aren't you like that by default? Why aren't you the guy who's motivated, who's able to take action towards what you want, who is able to say no to the temptations of the devil, if you want to go too esoteric? To summarize, there's two approaches. You can either go the external route and just pretend somebody, David Goggins, in your head screaming, "Who's gonna carry the boats?" Or you can go the internal route and try and work on your trauma, or you can do both. And honestly, that's, I think, probably the best approach. If you enjoy this kind of content, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.